We are recording. Okay. So I guess we just need to talk about the 4 questions in
Mm-hmm.
case study 1.
Okay.
So what do you think of the way James handled this particular situation considering his limited background?
I feel like he did a good job. Like, he had those 2 big things of, you're going to have to be in charge of or be the boss of, your friends of however many years, 17 years or whatever it was. And then also like the reading scores, which he had no background in reading. So I thought it was really good when he went to the staff and basically said, I have 2 problems. Here they are. And he got their feedback from that and kind of went with that. I thought he handled it really well.
I thought he kind of.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I thought he's a democratic style of leadership. I mean, he wasn't an authoritarian. He shared the responsibility with the staff. He was very upfront with them about saying, "Hey, look, I know we friends, but this is my job. I'm the principal now. You can still be friends, but you got to know that there are boundaries." And he made sure that was clear. And then I don't have an instructional teacher background. So for me, going into an administrative position, I would have to make sure, like he did, put somebody in place that can assist me with that to make sure that I go. And I like the fact that the reading coach said, "Yeah, we can do that, but guess what? You need to come with me so you can know what's going on, so you can understand what it is you're asking me to do. So when it's time for him to present his data, he can explain it because he's at the conventions and the meetings, and it gives him some more insight." So I thought that was good, how even though he put that in place, he didn't just depend on her to do everything. She said, "No, you got to do this so you can understand what you're doing."
Yeah, and I thought it took that awkwardness away from it. When you have somebody come in that
Mm-hmm.
you don't really know how to address them, and it just makes it really awkward. So I think he took that awkwardness away, but he also gave the teachers ownership when he
Mm-hmm.
said, what he kind of gave, asked them, how do you suggest we solve this problem? And they gave suggestions on what to do as far as the reading goes.
Mm-hmm.
And they also, said, do your job like you're supposed to do. So that kind of empowered him, but also empowered the teachers at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I definitely believe in that. That type of. He demonstrated that type of leadership where he made it's almost like he made the professionals accountable for doing their job.
Okay. What more could he done? I'm sorry, guys. My dog's squeaking its toy of all times. I'm sorry. He did that squeaky thing. What more could be done to help the reading scores in the school?
I feel like more could be put on the teachers, not just him and the instructional coach, but maybe some professional development for the teachers as well. Give them more leadership on that and empower.
Yeah. In addition to that, I thought that I think they said they meet like once a month. I think if they maybe meet once a week or something like that, that would definitely help. Obviously, once a month, that's a whole semester grade, a grading period within that time. So meeting a little more regularly, maybe once a week rather than once a month. That's what I was thinking about.
Yeah, like build a PLC on it.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking about, because with us, we have to have, right now we meet 2 times sorry. Red Cross wants my blood. Sorry. We meet 2 times a week, but one of our PLCs is reading, and one of our PLCs is math, and later on we may go to 1 a week and do like 1 reading, and then the next week math. So it's at least every 2 weeks. But also looking at data. They're not. It's not talking about any. I don't think it's talking about any data that they're looking at to show that they are showing growth or that they're doing the right thing.
Mm-hmm.
What additional resources could James utilize to help the school improve? It doesn't speak of any particular program that I recall that they're using. No kind of, like there's not anything in particular that they're using, because it kind of sounds like it's kind of whatever you want to use, you use it, and good luck. So,
Or maybe they should do a research on best practices and figure out which reading program they would like to use. They're going to the reading conferences, so I think at those conferences they may get information on different programs, and they just need to see which program could best fit their school and their
Right.
demographics.
yeah.
That's what I'm gonna say. Yeah, maybe outside of school, other schools model what they're doing has been successful, and kind of see if you can implement that in your school.
And then use your PLC to decide which one of those they would like to implement.
Right.
Okay. Anything else on any on those two or three? Okay. What could he be sacrificing, if anything, by replacing an extraordinary emphasis only on the reading program?
Yes. Go ahead.
Huh?
Like if you put so much emphasis on reading,
Yeah.
math is going to suffer.
Correct.
And
Yeah.
I feel like that is shown a lot in schools. You put a lot of emphasis on one thing, then everything else starts to suffer because we're worried about it.
And that's what's happened at our school and that's one of the things I wrote a little bit about, was that we have put so much emphasis on, we had Read to Achieve and M class, and what we call JET time, which is extra enrichment time or remediation time. Used to, before I came to that school, they would do math and reading, and they kind of swap it out. But now it's just 100% reading. And so then last year we started dropping in our standings in the state, and I think it's because we put so much emphasis on reading and we didn't have anything for remediation and enrichment and math. But then on the other hand, I think if you go into it, like he said at the end, he said, now we've got the reading under control. Now we can start working on math and social studies and science. And I think that's a good idea, because right now we're overwhelmed because we're trying to implement an iReady reading and an iReady math. And there's a lot of components to it, and they hand you this big thick book and say good luck, pretty much. And it's hard, and it's overwhelming, and that right now our teachers are feeling like we're all, we've all talked about how we just kind of feel like we're drowning, because we're not just, emphasis is not just on one thing, it is on math and reading, and they're huge. So, and then we spend so much time in PLCs that like this week we had one day where we could actually plan, and the other days were literally in PLC. So it's been, it's hard. So it's kind of, you don't have any time to even plan for it when you're pushing everything new.
Yeah. I think it's a common thing. Whatever you do, emphasize on something, and other areas you're gonna kind of ease. You're not gonna ease emphasis, and it's gonna suffer. It's gonna suffer.
But I think if you got your reading down and you found a good program or whatever you're following, a good best practice, and you get your teachers trained to do that, and it's part of their everyday, that's how they're teaching every single day. And then once you've got that mastered, then go into now let's work on math, let's work on what are we going to do for math. Then it's not as overwhelming, and they're already doing it every day. The reading it's not like they're having to learn it's not like they're having to learn two things that are new.
Right.
Yep.
Okay. Anything else?
No, that wasn't bad.
Okay. Whitney, anything?
Have anything to add?
No? Okay. All right. I'm going to